They say some conversations change everything, but you never realize it until you're already in the middle of it. No, I don't think I will. That was all I said. She froze, blinking at me as if she hadn't heard correctly. What does that even mean? She asked, confusion creeping into her voice. You promised you'd be here when I got back and that you'd tell me everything. I won't be here, I replied calmly. So you won't be able to tell me anything. Her eyebrows drew together. Where are you going? Somewhere else. That's not an answer, she snapped, pouting like a scolded child. And it's none of your concern, I shot back. She exhaled sharply. You're being childish. Grow up. It's the 21st century. People change. You've changed. And in that moment, as her words echoed in the empty room, I realized this wasn't just an argument. It was the turning point. The moment where everything I thought I knew, about her, about us, about myself, would be tested in ways I never imagined. Stay with me because what happened after this would change my life forever. I tilted my head. You're right, I've changed. I've added a few gray hairs. That's about it. You, on the other hand? You've changed in ways even a stranger would notice, and not for the better. She straightened, smoothing her hair, still undeniably beautiful. What is that supposed to mean? You're meeting some man for dinner? You refuse to say his name. That's a big change. It's nothing, she insisted. I love you more than ever. This doesn't affect that. I wish I could say the same, I told her. Just an hour ago I loved you more than ever. Now, all I feel is disgust. Her jaw tightened. That's disappointing. That's life, I shrugged. I get disappointed all the time. Yesterday on the golf course I thought I'd score an 85. Ended with an 87. What does golf have to do with this? She groaned. You mentioned frustration, I said with a smirk. Just sharing mine. My tone clearly irritated her. She spun toward the hallway. Tell Frank I'm leaving in 20 minutes. And you need to stop joking around and take this seriously. I am taking you seriously, I said. That's the problem. I finally realized you're not a serious person. That one hit her. Art. I have no idea why you'd say that, she muttered. Frank, I'm leaving, she called toward the kitchen. Then she turned back to me, voice softening. Nothing is going to change between us. I'll make you happy, unbelievably happy. You'll see. You're wrong, I said quietly. About what? About nothing changing. Everything has changed. I've changed. My view of you has changed. She swallowed. And what about Julia and Bruce? What do you think they'll say when their parents are suddenly talking about divorce? We're not getting a divorce, she snapped. And whatever we do is none of their business. I agree, I said. Not about the divorce part, but the none of their business part. Unfortunately, this is about you going out with some man you won't name. You're making this complicated. No, I said, you did that the moment you called it a date. Frank, let's sit down and talk like adults, she said, reaching for my arm. No, we're not doing that. This is more important than anything you think you have planned. Well, I'm not staying, I said simply. I made that decision a minute ago. She opened her mouth to argue, but I was already walking away. Collins, you're too late, I said without turning. The moment you thought I'd tolerate this, you lost respect for me, as a man and as your husband. She burst out, that's not true. I have never lost respect for you. I don't believe you, I said. Everything you've done since you got home proves it. I grabbed my jacket, wallet, keys, walked to the door. Well, she chased after me, but by the time she got outside, I was already driving off. Bruce lived only a few miles away, so I texted her. Want a Netflix and chill? She replied instantly with a heart emoji. When I arrived, her dog Davy nearly tackled me with excitement, tail going wild, drool everywhere. Hey buddy, I laughed, rubbing his belly as he made noises that sounded like a tiny lawnmower. By the time I reached the couch, Bruce already had a glass of wine poured and popcorn waiting. No comments, she warned. I wasn't going to say anything. I like sweet wine. You don't. My house, my rules. I laughed. I tried to raise you better. You slipped somewhere along the way. She covered me with a plaid blanket, snuggled in, then asked casually, "So, what's Mom doing?" Honestly, I have no idea. That weird? Very, I said. What do you mean you don't know? When I got home, she told me she had a date. A date? Bruce sat up like she'd been slapped. Yep. With who? She wouldn't say. Dad, please tell me you're joking. I wish I was. Her face flushed with anger. I'm calling her. Collins answered, but Bruce didn't hold back. Where are you? With who? You just lied to me. Dad's right here and you lied to both of us. What is wrong with you? Don't call me. Don't come here. I'll reach out when I feel like it. She hung up and immediately broke down. Small sobs at first, then shaking against my chest, whispering, "She lied to me, Dad. How do I forgive that?" I held her. We'll figure it out. Will we? She snapped. She's on a date. A date? What are you going to do? I wish I knew, I admitted. She wiped her eyes, laid on Davy for comfort, then moved back to me. Hugging you always calms me, I said. You smell better than Davy too. She giggled through her tears. He's a little stinky. After a quiet moment, she whispered, We need to call Julia. Julia showed up 20 minutes later, a little buzzed from a party, greeting everyone before collapsing next to us. What's going on? She asked, suddenly serious. Bruce told her everything. Julia's face drained of color. Daddy, there's more to this. Isn't there? No more than usual. We fight sometimes, but nothing unusual. And no issues in the bedroom before you ask. Bruce punched me lightly. Julia snorted. We all tried to pretend things were normal, but the air felt tight. You need to talk to her, Julia said. Both of you. I will, I said. But not like this. Not when I'm angry. I'm going to the lake. Need space. I'm coming, Bruce said, standing. Let me grab my bag and a blanket for Davy. Then she paused, looked at Julia and said, Give Dad a cigarette. Julia blinked. What? I nodded and she passed me the cigarette case. I wasn't a habitual smoker, nowhere close, but sometimes the weight inside my chest needed something to push it back down. Tonight, I felt that pressure crawling under my skin, so I took one without hesitation. Bruce came out with her overnight bag, grabbed Davy's dishes like it was second nature, and the three of us headed toward my truck. Julia followed behind us, arms crossed, worry written all over her face. I'm talking to Mom first thing in the morning, she said firmly. Bruce, keep me updated. And Daddy, please don't do anything stupid. I'll try not to do anything super stupid, I replied, forcing a dry smile. Julia hugged us both. Davy hopped into the back seat, tail thumping against the upholstery, and we pulled away from the house. On the drive, Bruce turned into a rapid-fire question machine. One question after another, some sharp, some confused, some she didn't even wait to finish. A few I answered. Many I couldn't. Some I didn't dare try. When we reached the lake house, we let Davy loose near the water. He bolted straight toward the shoreline, plunging into the lake like a furry torpedo. As Bruce walked beside me, she slipped her hand into mine, something she used to do as a little girl, and for a brief moment, it felt like time had circled back. Some things, it seemed, never changed. Davy chased frogs, splashed at shadows, and sprinted after squirrels that had zero interest in being part of his adventure. By the time we made our way back to the house, the sky had started dimming into a soft blue-gray. I glanced at the liquor shelf. Mojito. Bruce raised her eyebrows. Absolutely. A big one. I made 2 oversized glasses full of ice and mint. Bruce lit the fireplace, and the crackling glow filled the room while we sipped and talked. We shared a cigarette, and the nicotine settled my nerves in a way I hadn't expected. What do you think, Daddy? She asked quietly, staring into the fire. I have a few options, I said, but everything depends on what your mother decides. It's messed up, Bruce whispered. She might come back tomorrow saying she lost her mind and she wants it all reversed. We're in therapy, she reminded me. I laughed bitterly. Yeah, maybe I'd give that another shot. And if she's serious about all this? She asked. If she pushes it? In court. I don't know, I admitted. I can't imagine why she'd want that. Bruce pressed her lips together. I have no idea either, Dad. You're smarter than me, and I'm literally about to be a psychologist. If she's unhappy, she should come to me, I said. Let me fix what's wrong. You'd think that, Bruce muttered. We'll talk to her tomorrow. You'll drive me to pick up my car. Surprisingly, sleep came easy. I watched random videos until my eyes gave up, then crashed hard. When I woke, I dressed, took Davy out for a long wander, and by the time we got back, Bruce was already up. Do we even have food? She asked, rubbing her eyes. Not unless you want stale crackers. It's fine, she smiled. You can make it up to me with breakfast. French toast at Gay's. Deal. We left Davy snoozing at the lake house and headed into town. After stuffing ourselves with French toast and coffee, we spent the next hour talking about everything except the obvious. Her internship, my job, Davy's antics, hypothetical scenarios that made her laugh. Once Bruce gathered her things and we grabbed Davy, I drove her home. After dropping her off, I returned to the lake house and sat by the water, watching boats drift across the lake. It felt painfully empty. I missed Collins. I missed the quiet moments we used to share without needing to speak. I missed Bruce and even Davy's wet dog smell when he shook next to me. Trying to clear my head, I took the boat out. Managed to catch 6 decent crappies. Cleaned them, fried them with old frozen fries, and ate alone at the kitchen counter. When I turned my phone back on, I saw texts from both girls. Come to Bruce's. When I arrived, they were mid-pizza. Bruce handed me a beer and we sat at the kitchen island. Well, I talked to her, Bruce said, bracing herself. Same, Julia added. And? I asked. You're not going to like it, Bruce warned. She said she isn't happy, Bruce continued. Not unhappy with you, but with her life. She thinks everything is too predictable. Too boring. She says some guy at work has been flirting with her and she likes the attention. She wants to go on dates. My stomach dropped. Julia nodded. She told me the same thing. She says she still loves you, Bruce added, and she thinks you can date too. I stared at them, trying to swallow the absurdity. Bruce pressed on. Daddy, I don't think this will last. She'll realize what she's doing. Damn it, I muttered. You're both okay with this? No one's okay with it. Bruce snapped. I'm just trying to make sense of it. She'll get over it. I leaned back, stunned. What do I do while she gets over it? Love her, Julia said softly. Be patient. She's having some midlife thing. Midlife? Bruce scoffed. That's not midlife, that's messing around with other men. What else can you do? Julia asked. Divorce her? Chain her to the house? I don't know, I muttered. You said divorce was an option. No, it isn't, Julia insisted. Don't even say that. Daddy, don't go insane, Bruce said. You two are meant to be together. Just talk to her. You're taking her side, Bruce snapped at Julia. Dad hasn't done anything wrong. I'm not taking sides, Julia shot back. That's the issue. Bruce's voice cracked. Mom went on a date with some random guy, and you're acting like it's no big deal. The tension shot up fast. Faster than I could control. You want them to get divorced? Julia shouted. It's not about what I want, Bruce yelled back. It's about what Dad deserves. The argument spiraled. I stepped in, voice low. Enough. Both of you. Bruce let me hug her. Julia didn't. She grabbed her bag and stormed out. We watched her sit in the car, headlights flicking on, then off, then on again. Eventually she drove away. I'm so mad at her, Bruce muttered, shaking. It's not Julia's fault, I said softly. Your mother put you both in an impossible position. Kids shouldn't have to carry this. Our family was built on closeness, too much closeness to survive a situation like this. It still hurts, Bruce whispered. Mom caused this, but Julia acting like it's nothing makes me want to scream. Don't burn bridges, I told her gently. Let me handle Julia. And whatever happens, I love you. Deeply. Always. I trust you, Daddy, she whispered. Just keep me close. Always, I promised. The confrontation. Collins's car was already in the garage when I pulled up. I sat behind the wheel for a moment, breathing, forcing calm into my system. Inside, my stomach knotted so hard I grabbed a glass of milk to steady myself. She came out of her office looking drained, the kind of tired that isn't physical. "Hi," I said. "I'm glad you're home," she said softly. "I'm not okay," I told her. "I know. I wanted to protect myself too. Can we talk?" I nodded. "Here or the living room? Let's be comfortable." She poured herself juice. I grabbed wheat cakes. We sat on the couch, a full foot of distance between us, which had never happened before. The air felt sharp. "I need to apologize," she said. "I handled everything wrong. If you think this is just a mistake in handling, then we're wasting our time," I said bluntly. She blinked. "I don't understand. There is no version of reality where you telling me you're going on a date could ever be handled properly. There's no spin, no softening, no fix." She exhaled. "I get what you mean, but you don't understand me yet. I should have explained myself better. I should have told you why. You'd need to be a wizard for that," I muttered. "Got any magic up your sleeve?" She gave a tiny smile. "Not magic, but something close." "All right then, Miss Layfrey," I said. "Go on." "Frank," she said quietly, "how old are we?" "I'm 48. "And I'm 49, she said. "And I feel every one of those years, not in my body but in my heart." "Remember when we were 25? She asked. "Yes," I said. "I remember everything. Back then life felt wide open. Every day felt new. Even love felt like it kept reinventing itself. Don't you remember that?" "I do." "We don't have that anymore," she said softly. "We do the same things, over and over. I love our routine, but I want more. I want something new, something exciting." "I get that," I said. "But you don't think we could create something new together?" "We could," she said. "But that's not what I meant. I told you I wanted to go on a date and then come back and share the experience with you. You could do the same." "Collins," I said slowly, "your idea of together is very different from mine." "What do you mean?" "When I say together, I mean you and me. Just us. Adding someone else breaks the definition." She paused, thinking. "When's the last time you spent time alone with another woman?" she asked. 6 months ago, I answered. "Kansas City. With Amber, the telecom rep." She nodded knowingly. "Amber. She's beautiful. And single. And she's 10 years younger and not married to me," I said flatly. "We're co-workers. Nothing more." "But if you took her out, dinner, dancing, wouldn't that feel exciting?" she asked softly. "Holding a woman like that in your arms, wouldn't that spark something?" "Probably," I admitted. "And that's exactly why I don't do it." "Why?" she whispered. "Because I'm married to you," I said. "And I don't step into situations where I could be tempted by someone who isn't you." She looked at me, eyes searching. "And if I said I was okay with it?" she asked. "It wouldn't matter," I said. "It wouldn't fit who I am." She took a long breath, almost like she was trying to steady her own heartbeat, and said quietly, "I think I'd be okay with it now. I'm older, I'm more mature. I could handle it, and honestly, I think you should be able to handle me doing the same." I stared at her, feeling something heavy settle in my chest. "That's not what I agreed to," I said. "You made a promise." "I made a promise. If you want out, that's your choice. But I can't force you to stay. The only person I can control is myself." "I don't want to leave," she said quickly. I want to feel free again. I want to be spontaneous but still stay married." "No," I told her. "You'll do whatever you want no matter how it makes me feel. And I can't live with that." She tried to speak again, but the weight of everything she'd been hiding pressed between us like a wall. I could see it in her eyes. She wasn't just saying this on impulse. She had been carrying it for a while. "And Friday night?" I added. "That stunt you pulled?" "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I shouldn't have done that. I was angry when you left the house." "That's not true," I snapped. "You planned it long before Friday. You even lied to Bruce. You're good at that." Anger burned through me. You had every chance to fix this, and my position hasn't changed. It's not how you're doing it, it's that you want to. You've already made up your mind about the kind of life you want. I shook my head. I can only control myself. So I'll pack my things and you can go live whatever this new version of your life is. Frank, that's not what I want, she insisted. I'm not doing anything. But you want to, I said. And that's enough. Right now, I don't trust you at all. Not one bit. You think I'm boring. You think you need excitement. Even if you never act on it, that thought will always be there. We don't want the same things. So, let's stop pretending. I headed to the basement, grabbed my suitcase, and began packing for at least a week away. She followed me down, pleading, trying to stitch the moment back together, but I shut it out. I didn't have space in my heart for both heartbreak and her voice. I loaded my bags into the truck. She tried to get in, but the passenger door was locked. She stood in the driveway, looking small and desperate as I drove away. And God, it felt like someone had ripped out half of my heart. I stopped at the grocery store just to keep my mind busy, but the quiet drive to the lake hit me hard. The whole world felt muted. I turned on a podcast, listened to none of it, and carried my things inside like I was moving through fog. I thought about calling the girls, but exhaustion swallowed me. An hour later, my phone rang. Julia. Hey, sweetheart, I said. Where are you, Daddy? I'm at the lake. Why? I'm at the house. Mom called me. She told me to come over. And Bruce called too. Hold on, she's calling again. I told her I'd call her back and did. When she picked up again, her voice was tight. Dad, she's a mess. You should be here with her. Not me. I know, Julia. I know this is hard. Do you want to talk about it now? Silence. Then softly, no, not really. Are you coming back? No, I'm not. She exhaled, hurt. Okay, I guess it is what it is. You just focus on work, I told her. Your mom and I are adults. This isn't your responsibility. She made a frustrated sound. I'm sorry, honey. I never wanted you caught in the middle. I love you. You're my firstborn. You'll always be special to me. I heard her breath hitch. I love you too, Daddy. And she hung up. A moment later, Bruce called. Are you okay, Dad? I will be. Are you okay? Same as you, she said. I'm guessing you're at the lake? Yes. Come outside when I get there. I want you to tell me everything. I smiled for the first time that day. You don't need to ask. Stay the whole week if you want. I'll spend every second with you. I'll be there in an hour. I put food out on the counter, trying to stay busy. Then I heard the sliding door open and Davy's claws tapping excitedly as he sniffed around. I gave him some attention and tossed him the fat from the pork chops. Bruce wrapped her arms around me from behind. It smells amazing, she said. Davy thinks so too, I joked. She wiped his mouth and settled him down. We ate and she finally asked, So, it didn't go well? No, I said. She had 100 explanations. But it all came down to one thing: she's bored. She wants to feel young again. Bruce rolled her eyes. If Mom were your client, what would you say is wrong with her? She wouldn't be my client, I said. But if someone told me what she told me, I'd say they're depressed, facing a transition. I thought midlife crisis was a real thing. It's not a diagnosis. It's a phase. Some people hit a point where they feel their mortality, and they start acting out to convince themselves they're still invincible. Wow, she said with a teasing grin. Who knew my dad was a genius? Don't forget it, I smiled. Do you think she should see a therapist? I'll suggest it, but I'm not getting involved beyond that. I get it, she said softly. For what it's worth, I'm sorry you're going through this. I feel bad for you too. We'll get through it, I said. There's no other option. Julia arrived the next night. Bruce made potato salad. I grilled burgers. We sat on the porch as the sun dipped. Dad, Julia said, Mom is falling apart. Yeah, she is. What are you going to do? She wants me to come home. Says she'll forget everything. Says she's sorry. I mean, good. Julia said. Right? In a way, I said. But not really. What do you mean in a way? It's complicated. They asked for drinks, so I mixed palomas. We settled back down. Okay, I said. Let me try explaining it like this. Julia, imagine your boyfriend, Dickweed, told you that you're boring. Bruce burst out laughing. Dickweed. Julia rolled her eyes. We broke up. He was an idiot anyway. I'm dating a new guy. Richard. Oh my God, Bruce said, laughing so hard she nearly spilled her drink. But I continued. If Richard told you that you were boring, how would you feel? Terrible, she said. I'm not boring. No, you're not. But if he feels that way, can you argue with how he feels? She blinked. I get it. Bruce, you hate raisins. Julia, you hate coconut. Those are feelings. No one can argue you out of them. They nodded slowly. Mom didn't use the word boring, I said. But she spent a long time talking about how exciting life used to be. How we're stuck in a rut. How she wants excitement back. Their faces changed. They understood. Can you feel it, Dad? Bruce asked, her voice soft but heavy with something she couldn't quite name. Maybe a little, I admitted, exhaling as if letting out years of tension I didn't know I was carrying. I mean, I get it, she said. You're not 25 anymore. But you still like the life you've built, the things you two do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing them. I don't see anything wrong with that, Julia added from across the table. What did Mom say exactly? I rubbed the back of my neck. She wants to try different things, just not with me. She enjoys being chased by other men. Wants to date them. Bruce's eyes widened. Oh my God. How am I supposed to handle that? Am I supposed to smile and tell her she's wrong? You can't argue with someone's feelings. And even if she gets that thrill she's starving for, what then? Is excitement suddenly going to bloom out of nowhere? No, it won't, Bruce said firmly. Exactly. And honey, do you really believe she just snapped on Friday? Like this idea suddenly hit her? She's been sitting on this for a long time, keeping it inside. And she said nothing to me. I know, Bruce whispered. I felt the same. Me too, Julia said quietly. Dad, she continued after a breath, if she got therapy and she truly changed her mind, could you work it out? I shook my head slowly. She thought she could just announce she was going on a date and I would shrug and be fine with it. That's not miscommunication, that's disrespect. Julia sank deeper into her chair. I know, Dad, but what if she's really sorry? She says she's sorry she didn't tell me better, I said. Not sorry for wanting to do it. I'll talk to her, Julia murmured. Bruce, would you help if she agreed to therapy? I will, Bruce said, but only if she wants it. No one can drag her into change. Julia left that night heavy and unhappy. Bruce and I kept talking, trying to figure out what to do next. But Collins refused therapy. She only pushed for couples counseling, which Bruce said would be pointless unless her own dissatisfaction was addressed first. Are you ready for any of this? Bruce asked one evening. No, I said honestly. I don't want other women. I don't want to share her with other men. What if you thought of it like a break? Julia offered. You see other women. She figures herself out. Then maybe you go back to normal. I raised an eyebrow. May I ask you something? What happens in a few years when she gets bored all over again? And besides, I don't know any hot women waiting in line even if I wanted to. Both girls cracked up laughing. You look great for your age, Julia said. If you wanted someone, you'd have no trouble. I'm not interested, I said. No, Julia. I really can't. That disappoints me a little, she admitted. I hate it when you two aren't together. But I respect you for knowing who you are and not bending your morals. Thank you, I whispered. 2 months passed. Nothing changed. So I filed for divorce. And Collins called immediately. This has gone too far, Frank. Are you divorcing me? You have no reason to. What are you going to tell the judge? I don't have to tell him anything, I said calmly. That's what a no-fault divorce is. What will you tell people? We had one disagreement and you divorced me? I won't tell them anything. It's not their business. Please, come for dinner Friday, she said. We need to talk before this goes too far. Against my better judgment, I agreed. Friday night, I was just finishing dinner when I heard the door open. Even though we still co-owned the lake house, it bothered me that she walked in freely. I never stepped foot in our old house unless she was gone. She walked in looking as stunning as ever, still capable of making my pulse jump despite everything she'd put me through. She tossed her purse on a chair and came toward me for a hug and kiss. I managed the hug. The kiss I couldn't do. She looked wounded, but I was carrying wounds too. "What can I do?" she asked. "Dinner's ready," I said. "If you want, set the table while I get the rest." We sat down, poured wine, and she began. "I don't want a divorce, Frank." "Why not?" "Because I love you," she said. "I want you. I want our life." "Then why?" I asked. "You've been unhappy." "I never said I wasn't happy." I laughed under my breath. "You expressed it plenty." "No," she insisted. "You misunderstood. I'm satisfied. I just wanted to add to our satisfaction by dating other men." "That makes me uncomfortable," I said. "The simple solution is divorce. Then you can have fun with other men, and I don't have to watch." "I don't understand," she said, shaking her head. "I want to stay married and see other men." "That's not what I want." We moved to the couch afterward. "So that's it?" she asked. "Even though I love you and choose you, you won't be married to me?" "That's right, Collins." "Look at me, Frank," she whispered. She straddled my lap and kissed me hard, deep, hungry, desperate. For a moment, I almost let the old feelings win. Then I went still. She felt the shift. The kiss slowed. Stopped. "What is it?" she breathed. "Have you met someone?" I didn't need to say it, she already knew. "Frank, are you going on a date?" "Probably," I said. She blinked. "I like being married. I don't think it's boring. Could I be one of the women you're dating?" "Maybe," I said. "But I don't feel the same way about you. Maybe someday I'll stop being angry, but I wouldn't wait for it." She stood, grabbed her purse. "Let me know if you change your mind," she whispered and left. In court, her attorney asked for counseling. The judge explained that legally, if one partner requested it, he had to order it. "I'm not doing that," I told my lawyer. "I can't stop it," he said. "It's required." "What if we withdraw the petition?" I asked. "Would the judge still order counseling?" My lawyer blinked. "No, I don't think he could." "Do it," I said. Everyone was stunned. Collins looked victorious. After the hearing, I told her, "I won't be forced into anything. When you're done with this phase of yours, maybe we'll talk. Until then, do not contact me. If you do, I will never speak to you again." Her jaw dropped. I walked away. For 2 months she tried calling, texting, showing up. She even contacted the girls, which only damaged their relationship with her. She tried coming to the lake house. I changed the locks. She came to my workplace. I threw her out. Eventually she gave up. She told Julia she would stop counseling completely. Fine. We filed again. Same judge. This time uncontested. She kept the house in town. I kept the lake house. We each kept our businesses, our pensions. No support. Standard. Boring. Exhausting. Afterward, I dove into buying small businesses until I reached early retirement. Fished during long mornings. Learned to water ski. Spent entire summers on the boat with my girls. By October, I applied for a Mexican residency visa. Tourists got 180 days, enough time to figure out the next chapter of my life. I winterized the lake house, traded my Chevy for an F-350 diesel, bought a luxury camper, hooked up my boat, and drove to Lake Bacaro in Culiacan, Mexico. The girls were upset, until I bought them round-trip tickets to Guadalajara with a promise of beach time. I bought 5 acres near the lake, installed utilities, and settled in. On my second fishing trip, I caught a 14-pound bass. I was hooked. Julia visited in January. We stayed in Puerto Vallarta. On our last day, she asked quietly, "You're not coming back, are you, Daddy?" "I'm leaning toward staying," I said. "You and Bruce are the only reason I'd return. And I'll visit often." "What about Mom?" "I think she's working. She seems dimmer than before." Dating didn't turn out to be the paradise she expected. But I'd rather not talk about her. Okay, she whispered, giving me a sad smile. We let the heavy feelings drift away and enjoyed our last day. I hugged her tight at the airport, fighting the sting in my eyes. Bruce visited in February. Stayed with me in the camper. We spent 3 days at the beach, then she wanted to see where I lived. When we arrived, she spun in a slow circle. I can't believe you live somewhere this beautiful. It would be better if you lived here too, I said. She hesitated. I have no idea how I'd earn a living here. I want to use my degree. It's agribusiness, I teased. She laughed. Dat farming? What does agriculture have to do with you and machine tools? I got into machinery from working at a farm equipment dealership, I said. Started making hardened pins for combines. I had no idea, she said. Oh, there are ways to use your degree. Explain, she said, raising an eyebrow. You're a psychologist. You listen to people's problems. Bartenders do the same thing. She burst out laughing. She stayed 2 weeks before flying home. I missed her, of course I did, but eventually the quiet rhythm of my new life settled over me again. 6 months passed in a blink, and then one afternoon my phone buzzed. It was Bruce. Her voice sounded a little tense. I need a favor. If it's something I can manage, I will, I said. I need a loan, she added. A big one. Oh, big? Or just short on cash big? No, a big loan, she repeated. I'm trying to buy a cabin. A cabin? Is it part of a lodge? Does it make money? Can I look it up online? I was hoping you'd come see it with me, she said. It's only 10 miles from Lake Betrayal. Really? You checked the books? Yes, and it actually makes good money. They've got a bar too, so I can listen to people's problems. She laughed, and I couldn't help laughing with her. How much do you need? She turned her phone around and showed me the number. My eyebrows practically shot off my forehead. Wow, Bruce, you went huge. Go big or stay home, she grinned. I'll prepare a payment plan, I said. No need. It'll be short term. Once I own the business and show a profit, I'll get bank financing. But right now I'm basically someone with no credit history. I get it, I said. And honestly, it's pretty exciting. It'd be amazing having you here. I'll take a look and tell you what I think, I added. But you need to see it yourself. 3 weeks later, she arrived. We walked the property, met the staff, checked the books. The place catered mostly to American fishermen, and everything pointed to it being a smart investment. 6 months after that, Bruce owned the business and she was killing it. Davy, her dog, became a local legend. We spent tons of time together. The restaurant was top tier, always full, but the staff always saved a seat for me in the kitchen. One Friday night, the chef asked, "Mind if another guest sits with you?" Not at all. When he returned, I swear my jaw hit the table. She was stunning, wrapped in a soft yellow outfit that made her skin glow, with a waterfall of black curls streaked gently with silver. High cheekbones, confident posture, eyes like polished obsidian. "Mr. Barton," the chef said, "this is Miss Valiente." I stood up without thinking. "Frank," I said. "Please, no mister." During dinner, she laughed, a low musical sound that sent a shiver down my arms. "You can call me Nita," she added. Her English was perfectly fluent, lightly accented, and her voice was soft and smooth. She had already ordered sangria. I scrambled for something clever to say. "Pretty packed tonight," I finally managed. "Good thing this table exists." "I didn't make a reservation," she said. "Usually Tomas finds me a seat, but tonight I didn't want to sit at the bar. I was trying to avoid someone." "Well," I said, "you're safe with me. My mission is to protect beautiful guests from obnoxious people." She blushed, actually blushed, and laughed again. "I'm lucky to have such a gallant defender." I felt goosebumps roll across my skin. I told her Bruce owned the place, that even though I could cook, I preferred eating here. "Oh, sweet Bruce," she smiled. "I like her already. We're becoming friends." "That's good," I said. "Do you live nearby?" "I have a house by the Kaloa River, and another in Los Machos. I move around." "I've got 5 acres near the lake," I told her. "A couple buildings, a truck, and a camper." I like being able to go anywhere. You recently moved here, right? Like Bruce. About a year ago, I said. Came for the fishing at first. Sold my business in the States and decided to travel. What kind of business? She asked. Then she paused. Actually, forgive me. That's none of my business. I laughed. No, it's fine. I made machine parts for companies like John Deere and Caterpillar. She smiled brightly. Ah, an industrial tycoon. Hardly, I said. I just got lucky enough to retire early. You're too young to be retired. 49 counts, doesn't it? I'm not retired, she said. I could be, but I feel like I still have things to do. Like what? I asked gently. I'm a smuggler, she said quietly. My eyes widened, then she burst out laughing. I'm kidding. I own a pharmaceutical company. We supply medications to the Mexican Social Security Institute. That's incredible. That's why I'm in Los Mochis, she said. But sometimes I think maybe I should retire and become a dreamer slacker like you. We both laughed. We switched to Spanish for a bit. Her accent was gorgeous. She told me about her land, her horses, her Gelbvi cattle. I don't know them personally, I joked. She laughed. I'll introduce you sometime. Then she grew quieter. Does Mr. Valiente exist? I asked gently. He did, she said. He died in a petrochemical plant explosion. 11 years now. I keep the good memories. I'm really sorry, Nita. It's all right, she said softly. What about Frank? She asked. Bruce has a mother? Yes, and another daughter, Julia. 3 years older. I showed her a picture. She's beautiful, Nita said. She doesn't live here? No. She's in the States with her mother. My wife and I divorced 2 years ago. A difficult subject? It used to be. Not as much now. We wanted different things. She wanted an open marriage. I didn't. Nita nodded slowly. I'm sorry. That's life, I said. Say, can I take you to dinner next weekend? She smiled, a soft, electric smile. I'd like that. But I have to be in Los Mochis until Tuesday. What about the Friday after? Perfect. Can I get your number? She took my phone and entered it. Maybe when you pick me up, she teased, I'll introduce you to my cattle. She giggled, actually giggled, and I walked her to her car, a sleek silver BMW Z4. Before she got in, she kissed my cheek. A warm, electric little kiss. You were a charming dinner date, Frank. Thank you for letting me join you. The pleasure was mine, I said. I'll call you. When she drove off, I just stood there like a teenager in a daze. Back in the kitchen, Bruce immediately pounced. Well, did you like her? Isn't she incredible? Did you ask her out? You set me up, I said. Yes, she grinned. And she's perfect for you. She said yes next Friday, I said. But I need a car. I can't show up in the truck. Take mine, she said. The next day I texted Nita. 2 evil women are conspiring against me. She sent hearts and laughing emojis. Resistance is futile, I wrote. Bruce has confessed. I can't wait for our dinner date, she replied. The days crawled by. I hadn't felt this nervous excited since high school. We texted daily. She replied 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes more. We spoke on the phone, switching between languages, laughing, sharing details of our days. It felt like we'd known each other for years. When she finally returned, she called. The excitement hit me like a wave. I borrowed Bruce's car and followed Nita's directions to a private gated road. No house in sight. I pressed the call button. Hola, it's Frank. Nita's laugh came through the speaker. Pasa, Frank. The gate slid open. I drove down a long winding driveway until a massive mansion appeared on a cliff overlooking the river. Breathtaking, elegant, unreal. My heart was pounding. And that was where our first date would begin. The door swung open and a young girl, no more than 12 or 13, stood there with a glow that made the whole entryway brighter. She introduced herself with perfect confidence. I'm Pia, she said. Nita's daughter. It's nice to meet you. Pia, I repeated in Spanish, impressed. You look so much like your mother. Do you speak English too? She blushed slightly. I do. English, Spanish, and French. Oh, English is definitely my strongest. I bet you're brilliant in all three, I smiled. I want to take your mom out for dinner tonight. Would that be okay with you? She studied me with a surprisingly mature seriousness. Yes, she said finally. You're very charming, for an older man. I burst out laughing. Older? Now you're just trying to flatter yourself. She giggled. You must really care about my mom. Same way you do, I said, offering my hand. She took it and guided me inside to a wide, open living space filled with warm colors and sunlight. This is Zanetta, Pia announced, introducing the older woman who walked in with a calm, motherly presence. She looks after me when Mom isn't home. Would you like something to drink while we wait? Pia asked. What do you recommend? I always drink lemonade, but we have juices and adult drinks too. Lemonade sounds perfect, I said. And call me Frank. Just Frank. She gave me a mischievous smile and poured 2 glasses before leading me to the living room. Large sliding doors opened to a porch and a mahogany deck overlooking the wide river cutting through the valley. I love it here, she said, sitting down. Let's talk while Mom gets ready. Your mother never mentioned you, I said. Maybe she's secretly afraid people will like you more than her. Pia smirked. She hides me so no one replaces her. We laughed and Zanetta brought us more lemonade. Thank you, Zanetta, we said at the same time. Pia pointed at me. You really steal people's thoughts, she teased. Everyone around me wears foil hats, I joked. Even Bruce. We should get some ready for Mom, she laughed. No, I need to read her mind tonight, I said. This is my first date in years. Any advantage helps. She'll be down soon, Pia said. She likes making an entrance. I heard her before I saw her, Nita's voice smooth and husky, floating from the staircase. Then she appeared, and she was breathtaking. She wore a simple, elegant white linen dress with delicate lace at the neckline, sleeveless, flowing effortlessly. Tan platform sandals, a wide-brimmed hat, and a grace that made time freeze. Pia nudged me. She's pretty, right? I found my voice. Yes, Nita, you're stunning. Nita smiled warmly. I see you've met the real boss of the house. Yes, I said. And it was a pleasure. Pia, I hope I get to see you often. You're a delightful lady. I finished my lemonade and walked toward Nita. You never told me about this little beauty. I wanted to surprise you, she said. You love your daughters, so I hoped you'd love mine too. She's my whole world. That part is easy to see, I said gently. We went to a lively restaurant not far from her home. The food was wonderful, the music alive, and when I pulled Nita into a slow dance, it felt like I was holding a miracle. The way she moved, confident, graceful, made it impossible to look anywhere else. Driving her home afterward felt like floating. At her door, she kissed me, and the world spun for a second. Before I left, she invited me to bring Bruce and spend Saturday with her and Pia. On Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from Julia. Dad, when can I hang out with you and Bruce? How about 8 tonight? Dinner at Bruce's place. Perfect. Ask her and send me a snap, okay? Sure. Everything okay? I just need to talk, she said quietly. You can always talk to me. Always. Love you. Love you too, Daddy. Bruce agreed instantly, and that evening Julia called. After the usual chatter, she sighed. Dad. Bruce. I hate living here without you. I'm exhausted from dating idiots, my job sucks, and Mom drives me crazy. I want to move there. Bruce practically exploded with excitement. That would be amazing. Julia, really? Yeah, Julia said. I've already found a job. I'm buying the travel agency that books the lake cabins, including yours, Bruce. Wow, Bruce breathed. You've really thought this out. Sylvie, I said, we'd be thrilled to have you here. There's no hesitation. I had to ask first, she said, her voice breaking. I didn't want you to think I was forcing myself into your life. Julia, I said, heart aching, never doubt my love for you. I want you in my life, always. Me too, Bruce added softly. You're my big sister. Remember when you spanked Jamie Myers for picking on me? Julia giggled. Yeah, he deserved it. We talked another hour before hanging up. That night in my camper, I just sat still and let everything sink in. Bruce had moved in. I'd met Nita. Julia was on her way too. Life felt impossibly good. By Friday, I asked Nita if I should bring anything for Saturday. Bruce says you make incredible pico, she said. Bring that. So I bought fresh ingredients and made a huge bowl. Saturday morning, we loaded into the truck and headed to Nita's. I wondered what she and Pia would think of my simple setup. They clearly weren't poor. Neither was I. But simplicity made me happy. Would they see it the same way? I'd find out soon enough. Pia sprinted out as soon as we arrived, hugging Bruce, then me. We're going to the river, she said. Mama prepared everything for a taco feast. Yum, Bruce grinned. Inside, Nita and Zanetta were packing baskets and coolers. We jumped in to help, and before long everything was ready. Frank brought his truck, Pia announced proudly. It'll be perfect for transporting everyone. Her phrasing cracked me up. She was such a delightful kid. We loaded into the car, Pia and Bruce in the back, Nita in the front with me, and drove through Nita's vast property. She pointed out buildings as we passed them. It's good you're here, I said. I'd never find my way alone. There are several lanes, she explained. Barns for different needs. What kinds? Bruce asked. Horses, equipment, storage, livestock, paddocks. We reached the river where a gazebo, dock, grill, picnic tables, and 3 jet skis waited. I'll heat everything on the grill, Nita said. But we can use your stove too, right? Absolutely, I nodded. Home sweet home, even in small form. I want to see inside, Pia said. Then you get the grand tour, I told her. We put taco shells in the oven and she explored every corner, laying on the bed, checking apps, opening cabinets, before she and Bruce carried our things to the tables. For a moment, I was alone with Nita. She stepped close. I kissed her, and she answered with a passion that made my knees weak. Hello, beautiful, I whispered. I've been waiting to do that, she murmured. So have I. Bruce and Pia returned and we finished lunch. Everyone complimented my pico. Pia eventually announced jet skiing time. The girls changed into swimsuits while I put on my trunks. Then Nita and Bruce stepped out in their bikinis and I swear my brain froze. Nita was unreal. She caught me staring and blushed. Ready? She asked shyly. We hit the water. Nita led the way upriver about 5 miles. She pointed to a cliff where a rope swing hung from a tree. Want to try it? She asked. Yes. Pia shouted. It's so much fun. We shut off the engines and climbed up. Who's first? I asked. Bruce should go, Pia said. Bruce grabbed the rope, swung high, and dropped into the deep water, surfacing laughing wildly. Oh my God, Dad. You have to try. Pia went next, flipping through the air like a playful otter. Nita followed with a graceful jump. Then it was my turn. The height looked serious, but I jumped anyway. The swing sent a thrill through my chest, and the plunge into cool water felt amazing. We stayed there a while, watching Bruce and Pia take turn after turn. Eventually, Pia wanted to drive the jet ski. We headed back, lifted the jet skis out, and relaxed with cold drinks in the soft evening sunlight. When the sky began to darken, we packed up and headed home. We thanked them for the incredible day, and I stayed for dinner. Bruce glanced over at me, her face soft with concern. Dad, how are you really feeling? Pretty good, I said, stretching. Just a little tired. A full day of sun and water will do that. She rolled her eyes. You know that's not what I'm asking. Her tone sharpened just a touch. I mean about Nita. And Pia. I let out a slow breath. Pia? I said, smiling. That little girl is a treasure. It's impossible not to adore her. And Nita. The words came out almost on their own. Nita makes me feel things I honestly didn't know I was capable of. She lights me up just by being near. She's beautiful, yes, but she's also warm, funny, incredibly intelligent, independent. She's everything a man could ever hope for. Bruce nudged me. She seems to like you too. Actually, she told me she thinks you might be the one. There can only be one, I joked. Bruce laughed. Well, don't mess it up. I've invested a lot of energy in this. I'll try my best, I said, pulling her close. And now it's your turn to find someone. I want that for you too. I know, she sighed. I've just been buried in work. But I'm looking. I hugged her, got in my truck, and drove home with my mind swirling. A growing love. Over the next few months, Nita and I fell into a rhythm. We saw each other 2, sometimes 3 times a week. If she was away on business, I'd take Pia water skiing or fishing. Before long, the little girl had carved a place in my heart I never saw coming. I loved her as if she'd always been mine. 4 months passed and I realized something terrifying in its honesty. I was utterly in love with Nita. When she was beside me, my whole world settled. When she wasn't, I found myself imagining her smile, her voice, the warmth of her hand on mine. We texted constantly. She'd send me playful snaps, candid photos, little updates about her day. Every date ended with a kiss that left me wanting more, wanting everything but moving carefully. She wasn't someone I would rush. She mattered too much. Bruce and Julia adored her and she adored them back. The 4 of them, Nita, Pia, Bruce, and Julia, started spending time together even when I wasn't around. It felt natural, like a family quietly forming on its own. The invitation. One Monday, I called Nita and asked, "How do you feel about going to Tulum this weekend?" Her voice came alive instantly. "Really? I've never been, but I've heard it's gorgeous. The ruins, the beaches." She was in Los Mochis at the time, so I suggested flying from there. "What about Pia?" she asked gently. "Is this just for us? Or do you have a plan?" "I was hoping she'd come too," I said. "And maybe Julia and Bruce if they can make it. More like a family trip." There was silence. Then a soft, emotional breath. "Frank, the fact that you think of us that way means more than you know. And yes, I'd love it, truly. And I hope Julia and Bruce can come too. They feel like daughters to me." "They love you," I told her. "Both of you." "Do you love me?" she asked. I didn't want to rush that moment over a phone line. "Nita, I want to tell you that in person." She understood immediately. "Okay, we'll talk in Tulum." We laughed together and finalized the plan. The trip to Tulum. Julia and Bruce were in. Pia was practically vibrating with excitement. During the drive, Pia became our unofficial DJ, blasting songs, making wild suggestions, and roasting our playlists. We collected Nita, headed to the airport, and flew into a warm Tulum sunset. The hotel was breathtaking. White sand, turquoise water, soft wind. Saturday was all sunshine and waves. That evening, we went to a lively open-air restaurant. Bruce and Julia whisked Pia away to a beach party and announced that she'd stay with them for the night. Which meant Nita and I were suddenly alone. Walking back to the hotel, she slipped her hand into mine. "Well," she said teasingly, "that wasn't suspicious at all. I think we've been set up." "I know we have." I squeezed her hand. "And I'm not complaining." "Neither am I," she whispered. Back in my room, I made us drinks and she curled into my side as if she belonged there. "Nita," I began softly, "when you asked me if I loved you, I wanted to say it face to face." Her eyes lifted to mine, dark and full of feeling. "I love you more than I ever expected to love anyone again," I continued. "Since the day we met, you've been in my mind, my heart, everything." Her breath caught. "That makes me so happy," she whispered. "Frank, I love you too. After Alano died, I thought that part of me was gone forever. But now, you have my heart. You have mine," I said. Her smile trembled with emotion. "I want to give you all of me." I drew her close. "You have no idea how long I've wanted that." We made love, and it felt like the answer to a question neither of us had spoken aloud. The morning after, we were still tangled in each other when a knock sounded at the door. "Come back with a warrant," I shouted. Bruce's laugh came through the door. I scrambled for my robe while Nita hid under the blanket, cheeks flushed. The door burst open and Bruce, Julia, and Pia marched in with a rolling cart full of breakfast. The girls leapt onto the bed, smothering Nita in giggles and congratulations. Pia hopped onto my lap, her black hair swirling around like a storm cloud. "You love her, don't you?" she asked. I kissed the top of her head. I love you. And yes, I love her too. She lifted her chin with trembling hope. I want to be your daughter. Just like Bruce and Julia. Tears stung my eyes. I would be honored, I whispered. Truly honored. She turned to her mother. Are you in, Mom? So we can be a real family? There's nothing I want more, I said. But I need to talk to your mother alone first. Just us. I don't exactly have a ring yet. She nodded, understanding instantly. The proposal. After returning home, I took the girls ring shopping. At a Nowell Tribe jeweler, we found a fire opal stone, glowing red and orange like a captured sunset, surrounded by tiny diamonds. It would take 2 weeks, but it was perfect. I told Nita I wanted to meet at the gazebo by the river. She already suspected, though she pretended not to. When I knelt down, her hand instantly covered her mouth. Nita, I began, voice shaking, I'm not a man of fancy speeches. But I love you with everything I have. I don't want a life without you and Pia. Will you marry me? I'll spend every day proving you'll never regret it. I opened the ring box. She offered her hand, eyes filling with tears. Yes, Frank, she said softly. I want to be your wife. I want to love you always. She stared at the ring. A fire opal, it's my favorite. A little bird told me, I said. I think I know that bird, she whispered. The family forms. When we got back to the house, Pia was waiting by the door. She sprinted toward us, nearly knocking me over. You're going to be my father, she squealed, bursting into tears. I can't believe it. I knelt and wrapped her up in my arms. I hoped this would make you happy, I whispered. She pressed her face into my shoulder. It does. I thought we'd never find anyone. You found me, I told her. And for the first time, it truly felt like we were already a family. I pulled Pia close and whispered, I'll never let you go. She clung to me tightly, letting out a few minutes of sobs, her little body trembling with emotion. It's such a fire, she said finally, sniffling. I chuckled, shaking my head. You've been spending too much time with Bruce, haven't you? You're starting to sound just like her. She laughed, a musical little sound that filled the room. She teaches me lots of good words, Pia replied, smiling shyly. We set the wedding date for December 5th. When Nita walked down the aisle in a shimmering gold gown, my heart swelled so much it felt like it might burst. She'd worn white before and wanted to break tradition, and I couldn't have been happier. After the wedding, I moved in with her, though we kept the camper for vacations and adventures. I even removed it from the truck and used the vehicle as it was intended. Life had never felt so complete. A surprise visit. The first hiccup arrived in our second year. Julia asked to talk one evening while we sat together on the deck. Mom wants to visit, she said softly. I sighed. I guess it had been inevitable. When is she coming? For Christmas. Julia hesitated, biting her lip. I wanted to spend Christmas here with you and Bruce. Now I'll have to split my time with Mom. Bruce doesn't want to, so I'll stay with her. I still love Mom. Dad, I'm sorry if this disappoints you. I pulled her into a hug. I'm not disappointed, Julia. I'm proud of you. It's going to be okay. You can still spend time here. Just tell your mom you already have plans for Christmas dinner. She'll have to deal with it. It's not your fault, it's hers. It's hard, she admitted, tears glimmering in her eyes. I just wanted you to know. And if she wants to talk to you, see you, I can handle it. I smiled. Let me talk to her first. She's smarter than me. Let's see what she says. Julia spent the rest of the day with Pia and me. We laughed, ate together, and enjoyed every moment before she left. When Nita returned from Los Mocas, I told her about Julia's visit. We sat on the sofa, the fire crackling, her wine swirling thoughtfully in her glass. What do you think of meeting her, Frank? She asked. I suppose it was inevitable, I admitted. She's the mother of your daughters. I don't have special feelings for her anymore. I loved her once, but she ruined it. All the good times are overshadowed by the way it ended. Nita leaned closer, resting her cheek against my arm. I think we should all have dinner together at the cabin. I want to get to know her. Really? I asked, my stomach tightening. Yes, She's been part of your life and the girls' lives. I want to meet her myself." Her independence was comforting. She did what she thought was right, and I admired it, even if it made me a little nervous. Meeting Collins. When Collins arrived, she stayed in Bruce's cabin. I saw the girls less often, assuming they were spending time with her. Nita handled the meeting gracefully, and any tension remained unspoken. I asked her later, "What did you think?" "I like her," Nita said simply. "Really?" "Yes, she's changed a lot." Julia and Bruce agree. "She's become introspective and friendly with us." "That's good, right?" "I think so," she replied, sipping her wine. We drifted to other topics, laughing over memories. "God, I hope you weren't listening," I said playfully. She giggled. "She only said good things about you." I snorted. "I'll just argue with her anyway." She smiled. "Of course you would. But you're still here with me." "Absolutely," I said, holding her hand. "I adore you, Frank. That's never going to change." Pia wandered in, curling up beside us. I pulled both girls close, feeling the warmth of family all around me. Christmas preparations. 2 days before Christmas, a heavy rainstorm caused the river to rise. We had to lift the dock 3 times overnight, and 2 sections of our fence collapsed. Early Christmas morning, with the help of a local laborer, I repaired it. We planned to eat at 2 p.m., expecting Julia and Bruce by then. After finishing the fence, I showered and changed. I went looking for the girls, but they weren't in sight. Julia's car was parked outside. I prepared spiced rum punch and cider, filling the kitchen with the warm aroma of spices and citrus. Then I heard voices at the entrance. Pia ran in, practically flying across the floor, and sat next to me. Davy sprawled across our legs, sighing contentedly. "That smells amazing," Pia said. "It's rum punch," I replied. She took a sip, wrinkling her nose. "It smells better than it tastes," she confessed. I laughed. "It's an acquired taste. Try the spiced cider instead." She picked up a cup just as Bruce walked in. She liked the rum punch. Then Julia arrived. And then, my jaw dropped. Nita stepped in, holding Collins's hand. Seeing my reaction, Nita hurried over. "Don't be angry, Frank. Collins didn't have anywhere else to go, so I invited her." I wasn't angry, but I wasn't exactly thrilled. Nita guided me toward Collins. "She wants to talk to you," she said. I offered Collins a choice of drink. She picked cider and we walked to the office. "You look good, Frank," she said. "Thanks, you too," I replied. She looked a little thinner, elegant as ever. "I need to apologize," she began, her voice trembling. "I was selfish, disrespectful. I know I caused you pain and don't deserve forgiveness. But I hope—" "I forgive you," I interrupted gently. "I've thought about it. Yes, there were consequences, but one of them was giving me the freedom to find what I have now. I was bitter, resentful, but not anymore. You'll always be welcome here. Nita and Pia, they're dear to me, and Julia and Bruce love them. You'll always be their mother." Her shoulders relaxed, relief softening her expression. "I hope you live a happy life." "I am," I said, smiling. "And if you can accept that, I'll think well of you." "Can we be friends?" she asked tentatively. "We'll see," I replied, "but no nonsense." A joyful Christmas. Nita knocked lightly on the door. "We're ready to eat." We gathered around the big table. Pia said grace, and soon the room was filled with laughter, chatter, and the warm scent of food. Nita winked at me, and Pia sneakily fed bits to Davy while my daughters chatted endlessly. Even Collins seemed to relax, joining in the joy. For the first time that Christmas, I felt it deep in my bones. This was going to be a truly happy holiday. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe to Dark Infidelity Stories, where every betrayal, every confession, and every redemption has a voice. Tap like, share, and comment to let others witness the raw truth behind these stories.